Have you ever wondered where faith is lived most deeply? Not just spoken about, not just written in records, but lived every single week in action? Around the world, millions call themselves Catholic. But calling yourself Catholic is one thing. Living the faith day after day, Sunday after Sunday, is another. True devotion isn't measured by statistics or census data. It's measured by footsteps. The footsteps that walk toward the church doors week after week. No matter the weather, no matter the worries. Those steady footsteps tell a story in today's video. We're traveling across continents to discover the top 5 countries with the highest mass attendance places where Catholicism isn't just a name, but a living heartbeat of the nation. These countries remind the world that faith still burns bright. Number 5. Colombia. Our journey begins in South America, where the Andes stretch across the horizon and devotion runs deep into the soil of Colombia. Here, about 54% of Catholics attend Mass regularly, a number that speaks volumes in a modern world where faith practice often fades. In Colombia, Catholicism is not a Sunday habit. It's the rhythm of life. The story begins in the 15th century when Spanish explorers brought missionaries who planted the seeds of the faith. The Franciscans, Dominicans, and Jesuits built not just churches, but communities of learning, compassion, and prayer. As Colombia grew through centuries of struggle and independence, one thing never disappeared: the church bells ringing through the valleys. Even after the 1991 Constitution separated church and state, the faith didn't weaken. It simply became freer, more personal, more genuine. Today, Catholicism in Colombia isn't enforced by law. It's embraced by love. Families still gather for Sunday Mass, not out of obligation, but out of tradition and heart. Walk through any Colombian city, and you'll see how faith shapes its soul. In Ipiales, perched dramatically above a canyon, stands Our Lady of Las Lias shrine, a church so breathtaking it seems carved from heaven itself. Legend says the Virgin Mary appeared here centuries ago, and ever since, pilgrims have climbed the mountain paths to kneel in prayer. The bridge that leads to the shrine feels symbolic, faith itself bridging earth and heaven. Another sight. The convent of Santa Cruz on Mount Lopa tells stories of revolution and rebirth. Once a barracks for Simon Bolivar soldiers, today it stands silent again, a home for prayer and reflection. From its heights, you can see Colombia's endless landscape and hear the whispers of centuries of believers who carried the same faith we see today. Colombia's Catholics have endured wars, political turmoil, and modernization, yet their devotion never wavered. The church here doesn't just offer Mass. It educates, heals, and shelters. From hospitals to orphanages, the church is the moral compass of the nation. That's why when you step into a Colombian church on a Sunday, you don't just hear hymns, you hear history, family, and faith merging into one. Number 4. Philippines. Next, we cross the ocean to the heart of Asia, the Philippines, where faith is not hidden in chapels, but sung in the streets. Around 56% of Filipino Catholics attend Mass regularly, one of the highest rates in the world. But numbers don't capture the spirit. In the Philippines, faith is color, music, and life. Catholicism arrived here in the 1500s with Spanish missionaries, and it took deep root in Filipino culture. Over time, the faith became inseparable from national identity. Even under centuries of colonial rule and later independence, the church became a home of hope. It was where revolutions began, where families celebrated, where prayers never stopped. Today, nearly 80% of Filipinos identify as Catholic, making the Philippines the largest Catholic country in Asia. Yet what truly stands out is not the number, but the enthusiasm. Attend any Sunday Mass and you'll see packed pews, people standing outside, children singing along. It's a celebration of life, not a ritual. The Feast of the Black Nazarene in Manila is perhaps the most powerful symbol of Filipino devotion. Millions walk barefoot through the city's streets to touch a dark wooden statue of Jesus carrying the cross, believed to have miraculous power. The air fills with chants of Viva Señor Nazareno. As waves of humanity move together in faith, no spectacle of politics or entertainment, can match that sight, the living ocean of believers walking for love of God. Even Christmas here is different. It begins in September, the world's longest Christmas season, and fills homes and parishes with carols, lanterns, and night masses known as simbang, gabi. Each dawn service becomes a shared act of hope for the coming of Christ. The Manila Cathedral, standing in the historic walled city of Intramuros, is called the Mother Church of the Philippines. Destroyed and rebuilt multiple times by earthquakes and war, it stands as a monument to faith that refuses to die. For Filipinos, the church isn't a building. It's part of who they are, a reminder that joy and sacrifice belong together in faith. Number 3. Lebanon, from the islands of Asia. We travel west to the mountains of the Middle East, though small in size. It holds one of the highest rates of Catholic Mass attendance in the world, around 69%. Lebanon is unique, a land where multiple Christian and Muslim communities coexist, and yet the Catholic presence shines with remarkable strength. Here, Catholics belong mostly to ancient Eastern rites, Maronite, Melkite, Armenian, and Chaldean, all in full communion with Rome. Their liturgies are older than most nations, their chants echoing from the time of the apostles. Step into a Maronite church, and you feel the blend of ancient Aramaic prayers and the scent of incense rising through. Golden mosaics. Lebanon's story is one of endurance. Wars, political turmoil, and economic hardship have tried to dim the light of faith, but the people refuse to let it fade. Churches are always full. Sunday isn't just another day. It's a reminder that faith holds the country together when everything else feels fragile. The St. Paul's Basilica in Harissa, overlooking Beirut, stands like a crown above the sea. Inside, mosaics shimmer in gold and deep blue, depicting scenes from Scripture. Each image tells the same message, that beauty and belief still live here. Not far away is St. Rita's Church, famous for its circular design and stained glass radiance that floods the hall with light. Symbolizing hope amidst darkness, in a country where headlines often focus on division, the church remains a place of unity. It feeds the hungry, educates children, shelters the poor, and preserves a heritage that spans centuries. For Lebanese Catholics, Mass is not just worship, it's survival, identity, gratitude. Their devotion is a message to the world: even when nations crumble, faith can still stand. Lebanon proves that the oldest Christian roots still bear fruit today. Number 2. Kenya. Now we journey to Africa, to a nation where faith dances with joy. Kenya is home to over 18 million Catholics, and an incredible 73% of them attend Mass regularly. That's not just a statistic, that's a living testimony. In Kenya, Sunday mornings are alive with song, drums, and the sound of prayer carried on the wind. Catholicism first came to Kenya, the late 15th century, with Portuguese explorers, but it took centuries to grow. Through the work of missionaries and local believers, the faith took deep root, especially in the 20th century. Today, nearly half the country identifies as Catholic, and the church is one of the strongest institutions in national life. Education, healthcare, and social justice programs are all woven into Kenya's Catholic mission. From remote villages to big cities like Nairobi, churches double as schools, clinics, and community centers. Mass here isn't a quiet ritual, it's vibrant and full of life. Choirs sing in Swahili, women dance in colorful dresses, and the entire community prays as one family. One of the holiest places in the country is the National Marian Shrine of Sabukia, often called the Village of Mary, Mother of God, located right on the equator. It symbolizes unity between North and South, heaven and earth. Pilgrims come from all over the continent to pray, carrying hopes for healing and peace. Inside, sacred relics from Lourdes, the River Jordan, and Medjugorje connect Kenya to holy sites around the world. For many Kenyans, attending Mass is not optional. It's essential. It's how they stay grounded in hope amid challenges. In a fast-changing world, their faith stands steady like Mount Kenya itself, strong, serene, and visible from miles away. Kenya's Catholic spirit shows that faith can thrive when it is alive in community. It's not about perfection, it's about perseverance. Every Mass becomes a celebration of who they are, a people united by faith and joy. Number 1. Finally, we arrive at number 1. Nigeria, a nation whose faith shines brighter than almost anywhere else on earth. Here, an astounding 94% of Catholics attend Mass weekly. That's nearly every believer. Every week, a level of devotion that amazes even Vatican observers. Nigeria's Catholic story is one of courage. The first missionaries arrived in the late 1800s, bringing education, medicine, and hope. From those small beginnings grew one of the most dynamic Catholic communities in the world. Today, Nigeria's churches overflow every Sunday, filled with song, color, and the unshakable belief that God is with them. Yet Nigeria's Catholics practice their faith under pressure. The country remains one of the most dangerous places to be a Christian. Attacks on churches, kidnappings, and violence have claimed thousands of lives. In 2023 alone, more than 7,000 Christians were killed for their faith. But even this has not broken their spirit, it has strengthened it in southeastern Nigeria. Where Catholicism is strongest, parishes are vibrant, schools flourish, and faith guides daily life. The St. Patrick's Cathedral in Anambra stands tall as a symbol of endurance. It honors the Irish missionaries who brought the gospel to Nigerian soil more than a century ago. To this day, the Irish influence continues in the schools, hospitals, and parishes they built, and in the hearts of millions of Nigerian Catholics who celebrate St. Patrick's Day, not with parades, but with Mass and Thanksgiving. Nigerians' devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary is deep and visible everywhere. Statues, shrines, rosaries, signs of a people who believe Mary walks with them in their trials. When they gather for Mass, their songs rise like fire, full of energy, hope, and unity. Despite hardship, their faith thrives. It's a living example of what it means to trust in God when everything else fails. Nigeria's Catholics don't just attend Mass. They defend it, cherish it, and offer it as a witness to the world. Their courage has made Nigeria a beacon of Catholic faith for the entire African continent. The future of the Church, many believe, will be carried by nations like this, where faith costs something, yet joy never fades. As we look across these 5 nations, Colombia, the Philippines, Lebanon, Kenya, and Nigeria, we see something powerful. Different languages, different continents, different challenges, yet the same heart. Every Sunday, millions of people choose to leave behind their work, their worries, and their comfort to meet God in the Eucharist. Mass attendance isn't about numbers on paper. It's about hearts that keep showing up. It's about people who believe that faith still matters, even when the world forgets. These countries remind us that Catholicism isn't dying, it's alive, vibrant, and breathing in every hymn sung. And thank you for watching. If you found this video inspiring, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more stories that reveal the beauty and strength of faith around the world. Your support helps keep these stories alive, and together, we keep the light burning.